what was your definition and your number for financial freedom back then, and how has that changed?
At the time, I looked at basically my income from my corporate job and what I would need to replace that income. That was my financial freedom number.
So did that number keep moving up and
Yes.
up and up?
Hence the reason why I ended up trapped in my job and not having the guts to pull the trigger on quitting it for a long time.
Golden handcuffs, man.
Yeah. 2008, I had my first daughter. And 2011, I had my second daughter. And between then, I got promoted. I got a raise. I got more money. You know what I mean? And then I had enough rental properties. And this is the trap I think a lot of people fall into. I mentioned earlier that I had about 20 doors before I ended up using a property manager. So I was self-managing all of them, doing my job, my family stuff, my kids, all of that, and not doing any of it particularly well. And the trap is you have this number in your head or this thought of, I want my income to exceed my expenses. Therefore, I need to keep it all. And I don't want anybody else to have a finger in, the pie, so to speak, of the income that's coming in. So I worked so hard to build up 20 single family doors to give that cash flow away to a property manager. That was my mindset. When in actuality, I was not doing a good job of managing it anyway, because I wasn't turning units over fast enough. I wasn't jumping on repairs like I should have. I was undercharging like by a significant amount. So when I hired a third-party property manager, they rented it in like a week, probably 2 or 3 weeks faster than I would have, for $100 more than I would have charged. So they paid for themselves. And that's when I had a big facepalm moment of like, oh, you're dumb.
It could have been doing this for a while.
Yeah, exactly. So that freed up, I guess, some mental, things that were stuck, and allowed me to think a little bit bigger and kind of ideally put a plan together on how I can scale it and catch up with my income with real estate on as it was increasing with my job.
I think that's the problem though, is you hit a wall. And if you really enjoy swinging the hammer, meeting tenants, listing things online for vacancies, if that's what you want to do and that's your goal, to transition to that full-time job, then you're going to hit that wall. It could be 15, it could be 20, it could be 30, but you're not going to get to 70. You're not going to get to 100. And so I think it really, one of the things we always push is to just structure this around what your goals are. When people invest with us, people making $500,000 or just $50,000, some of them want to keep doing what they're doing full-time, and that's fine. And that's the purpose of being passive. But if your goal is to continue to grow your wealth and your family's wealth, you're going to hit a scale. You're going to hit a wall super quick because you have the inability to scale. And that's obviously what you learned at 20.
Yeah, and it's funny, and I know you guys have met a ton of people like this, but if you run into somebody and they maybe have worked hard and they bought several rental properties and they self-manage them, and they're always over there on the weekends, cutting the grass, raking leaves, fixing little stuff, right? And they're always there. The tenants know them by their first name and their kids and all that, right? And it's funny when you get to a point where you start scaling and you start using other people as leverage to do the tasks that you shouldn't be doing, or are, let's be honest, I mean, some tasks are not worth your time doing, right? So the menial stuff, when you hire somebody to do those things and you go out and you meet with a mom and pop owner, a lot of times they look at you and they think, yeah, you think you think you know everything, you're giving all your money away, dummy. And it's funny because when you're on the other side of the fence, you're like, you have no idea what you could have done if you wanted to, if you used other people as leverage.